College baseball on the SEC Network. Tonight at Swayze Field in Oxford, a top 10 matchup of a couple of SEC West teams. Number 6, Arkansas, and number 4, Ole Miss. Good Thursday night, and welcome to weekend at number 3 in Southeastern Conference play. Alongside former Ole Miss pitcher Brady Bramlett, I'm Richard Cross. Good to have you along for what should be a great baseball game, a great baseball weekend between two top 10 teams. Brady, these two teams similar. They're both really good, but there are some differences as well.
Absolutely. Very scary how similar these teams are. You got two aces, studs going at it tonight on the mound. And really, their offices, too, are just electric, and it'll be lights out from the entire weekend.
We'll get to the pitchers coming up in just a little while. Let's start, though, by looking at this Arkansas offense. It is really good. 47 home runs, second in the country. They're led by Heston Kjerstad, who's riding a 9-game hit streak.
Kjerstad, a threat in any SEC lineup, has been fantastic for the Razorbacks. And similar to that, Thomas Dillard for the Rebels has been lights out.
Thomas Dillard on Tuesday night has hit his 7th home run of the season. That was the game winner against Southern Mississippi, as Ole Miss got a win against number 14 Southern Miss. Ryan Rollison tonight on the mound for the Rebels.
No, Rollison's got the stuff that you'd love to see in any ace in the SEC. He's kind of struggled here his last couple outings, but tonight a great opportunity for himself to prove what he's got against the Razorbacks. His fastball is going to sit about 90 to 93. He loves to work his slider. His slider has fantastic depth, and he's going to work all 4 parts of the strike zone, which is going to be great to work these batters from Arkansas.
Rollison went just 4 innings last week against Texas A&M. Would like to get deeper into this game against a talented Arkansas lineup. 7 of the 9 in the batting order for the Razorbacks, hitting over 300. And then there's Grant Cook, the catcher, batting in the 6th hole, who's hitting 297 on the year. This team can hit. Biggers, Cole, and Martin to lead things off tonight for the Razorbacks. Defensively, Ole Miss with Thomas Dillard in left field, Will Golson in center, Ryan Olenek in right. Infield defense, Keenan at third, Kessinger at short, Jacob Adams, the former junior college player, at second base, Cole Zabowski at first, with Nick Fortes catching tonight. And again on the mound for the Rebels, Ryan Rollison making his 7th start of the year. Beautiful night for baseball. And the first pitch from Rollison misses for ball 1. Chance of a shower as we get underway tonight a little bit later in the ball game. Jax Biggers takes up and in for ball 2. 24 hours ago, there would have been no baseball. It was absolutely pouring. There was a flash flood warning in North Mississippi. There's the first strike of the game from Rollison.
But really turned into a beautiful day for baseball.
Stopped raining a little before lunchtime today. Sun popped out this afternoon. Field is immaculate. Biggers lines one to right field. It's cut off by Olenek. He'll send it back in. Leadoff single for Jax Biggers and this Razorback offense.
Rollison's really been sitting up high in that strike zone tonight. And Biggers there making him pay for it. Nice base hit to start off the game for Arkansas.
Eric Cole will step in on the right side for the Razorbacks. The right fielder hitting .330 on the year. Goes to the plate swinging, fouled back a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. Arkansas leads the SEC in home runs. They've got 47 on the year. In 2 weekends of SEC play, the Razorbacks have hit 18. They had 13 home runs against Kentucky in the opening weekend, and then 5 last weekend in Gainesville against the Florida Gators.
Well, Richard, when you got every single guy in your lineup has a home run to his name, actually multiple.
All 9 in the starting lineup, multiple home runs. Cole behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. This one's hit sharply through the 6 hole. Rolison tried to go right after him and left it out over the heart of the plate. Back-to-back base hits for Arkansas to start the game.
You know, that's too good of a pitch there for 0-2. Cole did a great job staying back on that breaking ball. Man, 0-2 count. You got to work that pitch down in the zone.
Back-to-back singles for Arkansas. Now Casey Martin comes to the plate. Martin shows bunt. Freshman from Lone Oak, Arkansas. .346 batting average. How about that for your true freshman campaign to go along with 7 long balls and 25 runs batted in. Martin bunts it foul, third baseline. It's really not something that Arkansas has done a lot of this year. Razorbacks have 7 sacrifice bunts this season. I think it kind of illustrates the importance that a lot of coaches think there is for scoring first, especially in a game on a Friday night, a Thursday night in the SEC. There's a strike, and Martin's behind in the count 0-2.
You know, in a series like this where you've got a top 10 matchup, like you just said, the team that scores first, more than likely or not, is going to be the team that comes up with the win at the end of the night. But you got to think about Ole Miss's offense. That's had, I believe, 9 come-from-behind victories this season thus far.
No balls and 2 strikes to Casey Martin. He lines it into left field. Dillard charging. Slamming on the brakes at third is Biggers. And Arkansas has bases loaded with nobody out. Top of the first inning. 3 straight sharply hit balls off of Ryan Rolison.
You know, Arkansas really showing that relentless offense that has made them so successful in their season to this point.
And the frustrating thing there, if you're Mike Bianco, Arkansas was willing to give you an out there. They said, hey, we'll sacrifice bunt, we'll move the runners up, we'll take an out. You get ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and then you just leave a pitch right out over the heart of the plate again. You
know, that's twice, and as a pitcher, 0-2 count is critical. That's, you have a higher percentage of getting it out in a count like that, but you got to make the pitch.
18th season for Mike Bianco at Ole Miss. He's won a bunch of ball games. Took Ole Miss to the College World Series in 2014. Led the Rebels to postseason play in 14 of 17 seasons. 685 wins. An encouraging conversation or a getting after his pitcher conversation?
You know, I think right there he's telling Rolison, man, you got to make pitches here. You got to compete. You know what? It's a tough offense. The only way to get them out is if you challenge these batters.
3 straight singles to start the game for the Razorbacks for Biggers, Cole, and Martin. Here's the DH, Luke Bonfield. Bonfield lines it into left field. First pitch that he sees, and Arkansas leads 1-0. 4 singles in a row to start the ball game.
Arkansas not letting up here. Again, first pitch strike, but a breaking ball that just hangs up a little too high in that zone there. Too good of a pitch after back-to-back-to-back base hits.
Heston Kjerstad now coming to the plate for the Razorbacks. Kjerstad with a 9-game hitting streak, 4th best batting average in the SEC, and he takes strike 1. You got to think that Ryan Rolison and Ole Miss would certainly trade a double play for a run here. There's strike 2. And Kjerstad frustrated, understandably so, because, again, that was a fastball out over the heart of the plate.
You know, this is one guy in Arkansas's lineup that you really don't want to face with bases loaded, no outs. What a great opportunity for Rollison to really capitalize here.
This one chopped to first, and that ball is foul. Kind of a funny hop as Zabowski did not come up with the ball. Kerstad comes into this game hitting .395.
You know, counts like this in situations like Rollison's in right now, this really separates the pitchers from the throwers.
Swing and a miss. That is a big strikeout of a dangerous hitter. First strikeout of the ball game by Rollison.
Rollison there, like what you said, really proving he's got the stuff to be successful. He's just got to make smart pitches, and that right there is a great fastball, late life, up in the zone. Not much Kershak can do there with a pitch like that.
Grant Cook, the junior from Fayetteville. Way inside. Cook, preseason first team All-SEC. Averaged just below 300 for the year. Good breaking ball. Certainly the best one that Rollison has thrown in this first inning.
And I think he's really finally realized these Arkansas batters, they're going to swing at that pitch. And the best way to be effective with it is to start working it in that lower, middle to low strike zone to where it finishes out of the zone in the dirt.
The 1-1. th pitch coming up here in the first inning for Ryan Rollison. Wins this year for Rollison against Winthrop in the season opener, 5 innings, 12 strikeouts. He beat Tulane in 5 innings, struck out 9. Took his first loss on the road against Long Beach State. Season long 7 innings against Eastern Illinois. 3 balls and a strike now to Grant Cook. Rollison took a loss to Tennessee in the SEC opener, went 6 2/3 and struck out 11 in that ball game. And then last week, a no decision against Texas A&M. 4 innings, threw 96 pitches in 4 innings of work. Fly ball to center. Golson on the run, makes the catch, a step shy of the warning track. That'll score a run, and Arkansas leads 2-0.
You know, Coke, a guy I've been pitching against for 2 years, really there showing that he may not have as high numbers as his teammates, of really getting the job there, hitting that deep fly ball to center field, which almost got over Golson's head.
17th RBI of the year for Grant Cook. And now a 2-0 lead for Arkansas. 4 straight singles to start the ball game. Bonfield had the RBI single that drove in Biggers. Sacrifice fly from Cook made it 2-0, and now Dominic Fletcher. Fletcher hitting just .214 this year as a sophomore. He takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Ball and a strike to Fletcher. Out of the Now 7 Arkansas hitters that have come to the plate. That's the first swing that we've seen that didn't look just locked in trying to drive the ball. And Fletcher, who was so good a year ago as a freshman, hit .291 with 12 home runs. Struggled a little bit early this year. Swings and misses. Considering the way the inning started, that's a pretty good finish for Ryan Rollison. Strikeout, flyout, strikeout. But the Razorbacks put 2 on the board in the top of the first. Arkansas junior Blaine Knight from Bryant, Arkansas, 6'3", 170 pounds. The right-hander is 4-0 on the year, 34 1/3 innings, an ERA of below 2, 35 strikeouts, and 9 walks.
You know, Knight, another big-bodied right-handed SEC ace. You got to love it. Fastball's going to sit about 90-94, and he really fills up the zone. He challenges batters and establishes his fastball early. He's another one. He's got another power slider like we see from Rollison, just this time from the right side. Really going to see a lot of depth and really firm velocity from his off-speed.
So you got an SEC Game 1 starter that's throwing in the low 90s and good breaking ball. Sounds like par for the course. Greg Kessinger to lead off for Ole Miss, followed by Olenek and Fortes. Thomas Dillard with the 7 home runs on the year. Cole Zabowski has been hot as of late. He's got 5 home runs. You see Golson, Keenan, Cockrell, and Adams rounded out. Good defense in the outfield for Arkansas with Kerstead, Fletcher, and Cole. Casey Martin at third base. Jax Biggers, solid at shortstop with Carson Shaddy at second. Jordan McFarland at first. Grant Cook catching. And again, the right-hander Blaine Knight on the mound for the Razorbacks. Blaine Knight, the right-hander. That has been a recipe for success this year for Ole Miss. The Rebels 17-0 in games in which the opponent has started a right-handed pitcher this year. Ole Miss will have to dig itself out of a hole if that's going to go to 18-0. Razorbacks score a couple in the top of the first. Here's Kessinger. First pitch from Blaine Knight, a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. Wins this year for Blaine Knight against Bucknell, Southern Cal, Kent State, and last week against Florida. At 6 2/3, gave up 5 hits, struck out 10 against the Gators. Kessinger hits a high fly ball to left. Kerstad moving over. He's called off by Fletcher, the center fielder. There's one away. What wind we've got is blowing out tonight. Light breeze out to center field, maybe left center field.
You know, we talked earlier about Friday night or Thursday night in this case, but you're ace for your staff. You could turn on any SEC game tonight and tomorrow night. In any game you see the pitcher, he's going to be sitting 90 to 94 and have just a killer off-speed pitch. I think that's what makes the SEC so special and so competitive, is just the arms and the talent that you see across every school.
Olenek fouls it away, a ball and a strike. You got a matchup tonight in Baton Rouge with Connor Pilkington for Mississippi State and Zach Hess for LSU. Hard to get very far into this conversation without talking about Casey Mize at Auburn, Brady Singer at Florida. Drake Fellows has been really good as the Game 1 guy for Vanderbilt this year. There's the reigning SEC pitcher of the year in Sean Jelly. Stephen Kolick last week for Texas A&M, really good. Sharp breaking ball there. Count evens at 2-2 to Ryan Olenek. Check swing. They say that Olenek did go around, ball in the dirt, so a throw down to first. And there are 2 away. That's the first strikeout for Blaine Knight.
Knight really working. I believe that was a changeup there. Down in the zone, great pitch. Caught Olenek with his hands out front.
Arkansas with a couple of runs in the top of the first inning. Nick Fortes comes to the plate now for Ole Miss. Fortes smashes one to Biggers at short. Easy play for the Razorback shortstop. And Ole Miss goes 1-2-3 at the bottom of the first. 2-0. Razorbacks lead it after 1. For an offensive team, about as good a start as you can have to a ball game. 4 straight sharply hit singles for Arkansas. In the top of the first inning, they got a base hit and a sacrifice fly to score a couple of runs, and the Razorbacks lead it 2-0 as we go to the second. Got dark skies all of a sudden over Swayze Field. Clouds rolling in from the west. If it does rain, it looks like it's going to be a fairly brief shower. But on the radar, there's actually a little bit of a split just to the north and to the south of where we are, and so a chance that it misses us all together. You can look at that sky and say, hey, a great chance it's going to miss us, right?
It is. I always hate it, too, as a player. You're in the game. You got to stop. Throw your turfs on. Or me as a pitcher, I already have my turfs on. Go grab the tarp, put the tarp on, pull the tarp off.
Yeah, nobody likes tarp duty. Jordan McFarland, the sophomore from Illinois, leading off for the Razorbacks in the second, and he fouls it out of play on the right field side.
That's some crazy colors going on out here.
Yeah. It's a little low for ball 2. 2-1 now to McFarland.
Looking on your TV, it looks orange. It actually does look orange in person as well.
Popped out of play. 2-2 now to McFarland. You get dark skies behind the stadium and kind of beyond the left field side, third base side. Puffy clouds and blue skies beyond right field. And some sun sneaking through. Pitch grounded right side. Adams has to cover a lot of ground. Has to wait for Zabowski to get there. That should have been an out. Cole Zabowski's got to get to the bag faster than that. An infield or shallow outfield single there for Jordan McFarland.
Adams doing a great job playing deep there, going deep in the 4-hole to make that play. And Zabowski's got to be there. Those are outs you cannot give this Arkansas lineup.
That's the 5th hit of the ball game for the Razorbacks. Carson Shaddy, the 9-hole hitter, comes to the plate. Shaddy hitting .338 in the 9-hole. Hits a fly ball to right. Ryan Olenek going back to the track, to the wall. Arkansas home run. 7th of the year for Carson Shaddy, and now the Razorbacks lead it 4-0. Off the bat, looked like a high fly ball. Carried and carried into the bullpen. That is the 48th home run of the season for the Razorbacks.
Get another breaking ball there. Carson Shaddy really letting that pitch work. You know what? I think the wind helped him out a little bit there too. But Shaddy's somebody I've been pitching against, I believe 2-3 years. He's always a tough out.
So for Arkansas, in its first trip through the batting order, 4 runs on 6 hits. Adams throws out Biggers for the first out of the second.
Those are why you have to get outs where you can against this Arkansas lineup, because if you don't, they're going to make you paid just like that. What happened with that home run there from Shaddy.
Swing and a miss for strike 1 to Eric Cole. Cole singled in the first inning. He's got 7 multi-hit games this year.
And what's tough too is that you do your scouting report, you go through a lineup, you find your guys that are home run threats. Really, this entire lineup is a home run threat.
Biggers has 3 as a leadoff hitter. Cole's got 6. Casey Martin's got 7. Bonfield with 4. Kerstad's got 6. Cook's got 5. Fletcher with 3. McFarland with 2. And Carson Shaddy just hit his 7th. That's 1 through 9. And you think about when teams get into conference play, that's usually when the numbers take a tick down. You know, at best, they usually kind of plateau. But Arkansas as a team now has 19 home runs in 6 conference games, plus an inning and 2/3, or inning and a third. Light rain has started to fall at the ballpark here in Oxford. There's a strikeout. Cole goes down swinging. 3rd strikeout for Rollison.
You know, a few pitches earlier, you could really see Rollison trying to force a strikeout here, really pumping up on that fastball, missing up in the zone. But comes back there, makes a great solid pitch, gets a swing and a miss there out of Cole.
And the wind that may earlier in this inning have helped Carson Shaddy hit his 7th home run has now switched. It's full bore out of the west, blowing out to right field.
You can feel that temperature change.
Rain falling, and Swayze Field all of a sudden looks like a busted anthill. This one's fouled back. English teachers, I hope, will forgive me. I know it's a burst, but you know what I mean, a busted anthill. 2-1 pitch, fouled back, count evens at 2-2.
And that wind is just howling out to right field. Wow.
It's just off the plate. The count goes full to Casey Martin. I know you can't allow yourself to try and place the ball as a hitter, but with that kind of a wind, you're like, I could just hit it decent in the air the other way. That ball got away from Rollison. He walks Casey Martin. Martin, a 2-out base runner for the Razorbacks. Luke Bonfield comes to the plate. Umpires are going to pull both teams, and we will have a delay. First order of business is to cover the mound at home plate and get the tarp on the field. Don't anticipate this being an extended rain delay, but we have got a break in the action nonetheless, with Arkansas leading 4-0 over Ole Miss. Our coverage is going to continue tonight from Swayze Field, but right now we'll take a timeout. A short rain delay followed by a rainbow. Still, Arkansas leading 4-0 over Ole Miss. We are in the top of the second inning. Razorbacks have a runner on first with 2 down. Ryan Rolison back on the hill. This is how the game began for the Razorbacks. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 straight singles to start the ball game. Arkansas got a couple of runs in the first, and then Carson Shaddy, taking advantage of the wind with that front blowing through, goes the opposite way into the bullpen. 2-run blast, and the Razorbacks lead it 4-0. Dark skies kind of moved in quickly. Very short rain. By the time the tarp was out, basically the rain stopped. No lightning associated with this system. They pulled the tarp, and we are ready to resume.
A little rain delay.
Is that the tarp duty you were talking about that you hated?
Oh, pulling
Let's
it
pull
off.
it. Oh, wait, it's not raining? Yeah, let's put it on anyway.
Hey, putting it on, it wasn't that bad. Taking it off, now that's where I let. That's when I was a senior. I let the freshmen take care of that.
Casey Martin down at first base. Here is Luke Bonfield. Takes a strike. Not a long enough delay that either starting pitcher should be affected. Blaine Knight pitched the first inning and then has been sitting ever since. He got a 1-2-3 bottom of the first.
You know, sometimes a rain delay can be good, just especially for Ole Miss in this situation. Kind of catch their breath, get back into the game, and really for Rolison, this might be a brand new ball game for him.
Fly ball to right field. Olenek going back, gets to the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch. Wind still blowing out to right field. Might have died down just a little bit. 4-0 Arkansas as we go to the bottom of the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Arkansas 4 runs on 6 hits in their first 2 at-bats, including a 2-run home run from Carson Shaddy. Rebels batting for the second time in the ball game. 3 up, 3 down. First time through. Here's Thomas Dillard. He will lead off for Ole Miss from the left-hand side, hitting .393. Sample size is bigger, obviously, from that side of the plate against right-handed pitchers. As a right-handed hitter, hitting .200. Now, Brady, on Tuesday night against Southern Miss, 2 times the Golden Eagles went to the bullpen to bring in a right-hander. No, to bring in a left-hander to flip him around to the right side of the plate. First time it worked out, got a strikeout. Second time, he hit a 3-run bomb to left.
And with numbers like that, you would think it would work, and it did the first time. But that didn't matter the second time around. Shot home run gave them the lead for Ole Miss to win that game on Tuesday.
Blaine Knight, though a right-handed hitter, 5 of Thomas Dillard's 7 home runs have come from the left side of the plate.
You gotta love that. 7 home runs this year so far. Only had 4 last year.
Ole Miss, never mind a home run, looking for its first hit of the ball game. Dealing with Blaine Knight. We had a long delay between the bottom of the first and the bottom of the second. Fly ball down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone by a mile, but it is a foul ball. First base umpire John Brammer raised both hands above his shoulders to signal foul ball.
Ooh. You got to love that ball coming off the bat. But as a pitcher, that's just a long strike.
Mike Bianco asking for a review. See if this is an official coach's challenge or if it's a fair or foul home run challenge, which can happen without a coach's review.
So if that happens, Coach Bianco still
would have two remaining, assuming that that's the rationale. So Daryl Arnold, the crew chief and the home plate umpire, along with John Brammer, first base umpire who made the call, will go to the tunnel for the review. Remind on what you can do. These are head coach challenges, permanent reviewable calls, experimental reviewable calls. A head coach can ask for either of those. Crew chief can go to a review for a permanently reviewable call at any point in the ball game. And the experimental rules that are in place for this year, once you get to the 8th inning. Fair foul on a home run was one, though, that was permanently reviewable. See, that's number one, fair or foul. Ground rule double or a home run. So numbers 1 and number 2 on the replay protocol list. Give you the opportunity to review that.
God, look how high that ball is.
Take a look in a minute at what it is that the umpires are looking at. This is a look from behind home plate. There's no question the ball was hooking the entire way down the line, and you're just hoping, if you're an Ole Miss fan, that that ball stays fair. Blaine Knight, when that ball initially was called foul, had a big smile on his face. He knew that he got away with one to Thomas Dillard. And I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure as to whether or not that will be counted as a coach's challenge. Yeah, that's really an interesting look. Now, you got to remember the angle from the camera can kind of throw your perspective a little bit. But with that look, kind of makes you wonder if they might overturn that call. But again, without a camera looking straight down the foul line, that is hard. And John Brammer, first base umpire who made that call, in theory should have as good a view as anybody in the ballpark. From a positioning standpoint, the first base umpire, you're straddling that line and making it right down the you're looking straight down that line. And they uphold the call. Understanding, as I said, not enough video evidence to overturn it, and therefore the call made on the field will stand. And Thomas Dillard will come back to the plate with a 1-1 count. Brady, I understand not changing that call based on what you saw there. You look at it and you go, oh man, that looks like a fair ball. You got to remember you're looking at it from a little bit different angle as well.
That's got to be a sigh of relief there for Knight.
One ball, 2 strikes now to Thomas Dillard. Big strikeout by Blaine Knight. Dodged a bullet early in the at-bat. Strikes Dillard out for the first out of the second inning.
That was a great job there by Knight after that big, long foul ball. Dillard really showing what he's got with his pop. Fantastic job executing those off-speed pitches down the zone to really take care of the Rebels' biggest batter in the lineup.
25th time this year that Thomas Dillard has struck out. Here's Cole Zabowski. Zabowski hits a fly ball to right field. No question as to whether or not this one is fair or foul. Ole Miss is on the board. Sixth home run of the year for Cole Zabowski. That is the 5th home run allowed by Blaine Knight this season. For Cole Zabowski, he's now got 7 hits in SEC play. 5 of them are extra base hits, 3 home runs and a couple of doubles.
No review needed for that one. Zabowski gets every bit of that. Really making Knight pay for leaving a pitch like that up in the zone.
Arkansas hits a home run in the top half of the inning. Ole Miss hits a home run in the bottom half of the inning. It's now 4-1. Olsen takes inside for ball 1. Tight break on that slider from Knight on the outside corner. 7th start of the year for Blaine Knight. Coming in 35 strikeouts and 9 walks. And he gets the corner, or gets the call on the corner again from Darrell Arnold, the home plate umpire tonight. Arnold, John Brammer, Ryan Moorhead at second base, Jason Millsap, the third base umpire. You go back to the same spot and just see if you can get a little bit more of an extension.
A little further, a little further. You know, Knight's one of the few pitchers that really throws a true slider and a true curveball. He's got both of those pitches in his arsenal. And here I think he's really trying to nibble with that slider, that outer half of the plate.
2-2. Fastball running away there from the right-handed hitter.
I think try to pump it up there just a little bit, touching 94.
Olsen lifts one into the right center gap. Cole and Fletcher both on the run, hangs in the air, and Cole runs it down for the second out of the inning. Freshman Tyler Keenan, the Rebel third baseman, against Blaine Knight, and he takes ball 1.
A lot of time in SEC, you don't see a lot of pitchers truly utilize a changeup, but Knight, I mean, he has a true, just like that right there, almost like a reverse slider. It's got so much tail and depth to it that's really effective against these left-handed batters.
One to Keenan. That looked like the curveball.
And that there is, he's going to use that early on in the count just to get me over. Hey, look, I had this here too. just something else to put in the back of a batter's mind when he steps in the box, that he's not only facing 3 pitches, there's 4 potential pitches that could be seen.
Strike 3 called, and he was able to freeze Tyler Keenan there. You got to think a lot going through the mind for the freshman. Not much thinking here from Cole Zabowski. Fastball out over the heart of the plate, gets Ole Miss on the board. Solo shot. It's 4-1 after 2. Beautiful Thursday night sky. The rain has left us. Hopefully it's just baseball from here on out. Game 1 of a 3-game series between Ole Miss and Arkansas. Heston Kerstad took strike 1. Really didn't offer at it, and he said to Daryl Arnold, can you appeal? Can you appeal? And Daryl Arnold said it was a strike. And that is strike 2 to Kerstad. Arkansas with 2 in the first, 2 in the second. They lead by 3. Chopped foul.
Kerstad might be a freshman. Man, he sure doesn't look like a freshman in that box.
Yeah, physically really impressive. Strike 3 called. Kerstad goes away looking. Rolison worked that outside corner with the fastball.
We saw earlier with Knight really working, trying to stretch it out a little further, and Rolison there doing the exact same thing, and it pays off. Knocking down that big bat from Kerstad with the Arkansas Razorbacks.
First time tonight that Rolison has gotten the leadoff man. Singles to start both the first and second innings for the Razorbacks. Here's Grant Cook.
That's huge, getting the first out of the inning. It really changes the momentum.
Rolison, despite giving up the 2-run homer to Shaddy in the second inning, has looked a lot sharper in the second and now the third innings than he did in the first. It's like he was throwing beach balls up over the heart of the plate to start the ball game.
I've really seen a different guy out of Rolison that started the game. Wonder if they've got a button in the dugout. Push it for a rain delay.
Fouled away. A reset button.
A little reset rain delay.
One-two pitch. This one fouled high and out of play. Cook check swing, not able to hold up. Tagged out by Fortes. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Rolison really working that breaking ball there down in the zone. You know, earlier in the game he was leaving that hanging up a little bit, and Arkansas really making him pay for it. But right there, man, what an effective pitch there to Coke.
Dominic Fletcher struck out swinging the first time up. Arkansas has at least one home run in 12 straight games. Carson Shaddy made sure that that streak continues. 3-0 to Fletcher. This is game number 26 of the year for the Razorbacks, and only 3 times have they not gone deep in a ball game. Foul territory, third base side. Keenan makes the catch, rolls over into the stands, and that ends the inning. Pretty good play by the third baseman, a freshman from North Carolina. 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4 runs on 6 hits tonight for Arkansas. Ole Miss a run, a solo home run from Cole Zabowski. Both teams with 1 home run in the ball game. Razorbacks team no stranger to the postseason. 6 trips to the College World Series for Dave Van Horn as a head coach, 4 at Arkansas. Coach, was that first inning kind of a glimpse for people that haven't seen your team all season long of your approach at the plate, just aggressive and attacking?
Well, for the most part, you know, you got a strike throwing lefty on the mound. It's got great stuff, and, you know, we don't really want him to get ahead of us, so we just tried to attack. But our guys did a good job with hitting a couple pitches with 2 strikes, kept that inning going. I
know you never want to deal with a rain delay. Is there any effect with one that is that short for anybody, kind of from a mental standpoint?
I don't think so. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Baseball, we have to deal with it, and we try to train these guys mentally to be able to handle things like that.
Coach, talk about Knight. Man, he's doing a fantastic job in the season so far. Just electric stuff. I mean, talk about just the presence he brings for the team on these opening nights for SEC weekends.
Well, you said it. He's a veteran. He's been through it, and you know, that's where he's made his biggest jump. Is his mound presence, the way he acts, and you know, he's been here before.
Dave, thanks for your time tonight.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Dave Van Horn, head coach of the Razorbacks, 685 wins in 18 years at Arkansas. Cockrell lines one into left field. DH for Ole Miss. Got the guy at the 8 spot in your lineup, hitting .421.
You know, Cockrell, just another big bat in the lineup. Really has a threat for the home run, but a guy that loves to go gap to gap in the ball game.
Second hit off of Blaine Knight. 9-hole hitter Jacob Adams. Start to SEC play for Jacob Adams. About as well as you could line it up. That week that league play began, Ole Miss played a couple of games on the road at Georgia State, then came home and hosted Tennessee. He went 7 for 11 in 5 games that week. Transferred to Ole Miss from Crowder College. Solidified his spot at second base. He takes a strike.
That's another guy at the bottom of the lineup. You got Cockrell in the 8-hole hitting .421. You got Adams hitting .333 in the 9 spot.
And no question, 2 teams tonight that can swing it. Ole Miss a .300 batting average coming in. He's back inside in the count now, 1-2 to Jacob Adams. Arkansas hitting .311 coming into this game.
I'm not sure there if that's his changeup yet again, or a slider would late bite.
I'll go with off speed. 1-2 coming to Adams, fouled away. Wind continues to blow out to right field. Temperature has dropped at the ballpark. The 1-2. It's a pretty good pitch. Big Blaine Knight also thought that was a pretty good pitch.
I'm surprised Adams laid off that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff single from Chase Cockrell. He's at first. This ball hit sharply through the right side of the infield. Cockrell had to slam on the brakes to let that ball get by. It's the 3rd hit of the game for Ole Miss. Back-to-back singles to start the 3rd.
Does a great job there by Adams. A 2-2 count. Typically, you're thinking your pitcher's going to go to a fastball here. Did a great job staying back, reacting to that off speed. Just letting the hands work and taking that ball to the 4-hole.
You know, Dave Van Horn said about Ryan Rollison with regard to aggressiveness, said, you know, you got a good pitcher that's a strike thrower. And that's what Arkansas did. They took advantage of balls out over the heart of the plate. It's kind of how Ole Miss has got to approach it as well, right?
Absolutely. And that approach right there, that's something that you see with a lot of Friday night aces, is that guys that are going to be strike throwers with effective pitches, and you got to jump on them early to really to get ahead. And just like Arkansas did with 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second. Because you get late in the ball game with your ace still in the game. That's a tough hole to come out of.
Kessinger takes ball 1. McFarland was charging the first baseman. First and second, nobody out. You certainly understand getting them into scoring position, but Kessinger hitting .344 on the year. Errol Arnold says that's good enough, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
But you got to think, too, it's the bottom of the 3rd. Ole Miss trails by 3. You need to try to get as many runs in a scoring position to get runs across the board early on, so you can try to fill that gap that they kind of started with.
You believe that?
Is that coach's talk? Is that too much coach's talk right there?
Kessinger bunts it, fielded by Knight. He'll go to first and throws it away. And that's going to allow Cockrell to come home and score and Adams to move up. So the bunt works out, and it's now 4-2. Don't smile at me and give me the I told you so on that. Throwing error on the pitcher allows the run to score. Still nobody out in the inning.
Hey, you do your job, and sometimes good things come out of it.
Cockrell scores from second. Adams goes first to third. Kessinger will get a sacrifice. Meeting on the mound, Wes Johnson, the pitching coach for the Razorbacks, playing Knight. 2 innings, 3 hits. Only 1 earned run so far. Sunday we'll have the final game of the 3-game series between number 8 Vanderbilt and number 2 Florida at McKeithen Stadium in Gainesville. It's at noon Eastern right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Kind of a strange ball game so far. Arkansas with 4 straight base hits to start the game. They took a 2-0 lead in the first, added a 2-run home run in the second. We had a rain delay that lasted about 10 or 15 minutes, and once the tarp was rolled out, it never rained anymore. Temperatures dropped about 15 degrees. Winds blowing out to right. And here in the third, Ole Miss threatening with a run across, runners at the corners, and still nobody out. First pitch strike to Ryan Olenek. It's hard to tell sometimes with a hitter's reaction. Is that a, oh, that ball hung, and that's a pitch I wish I had swung at, or you've got to be kidding me, you called that a strike? Blaine Knight working ahead of Ryan Olenek here in the bottom of the third. Olenek lines it off the glove of the third baseman Martin, and that ball will roll down to the corner. Adams comes home to score. Kessinger had to make sure that the ball was down before he took off so as not to get doubled off. It's now a one-run ball game.
Olenek doing a great job there, handling that off-speed pitch, letting his hands work, and just driving it over the head of the third baseman. And Martin almost got a glove on that.
Oh, I think he did get a glove on it. He just wasn't able to quite pull it in. Single, single, sacrifice and an error, RBI single. And now Nick Fortes. Still nobody out. A couple of lefties to follow against Blaine Knight. The overwhelming majority of this crowd has stayed through the rain delay, and pretty big Thursday night crowd for the series opener between number 4 Ole Miss and number 6 Arkansas. Saw action in the Razorbacks bullpen. There's a strike, and the count evens at 1-1 to Nick Fortes. Shortest outing of the season for Blaine Knight came against Kentucky. Took a no decision in the series opener. Went 4 2/3 innings. Ball out over the plate, and Nick Fortes missed it, popped it back.
You know, anytime a lineup is facing the ace of a staff, the number one goal is to get to that bullpen as soon as possible. Get him out of the game to make the bullpen work.
Fortes waiting on the 1-2 pitch. It's not a bad pitch ahead in the count by Blaine Knight to see if you can get Fortes to go fishing.
That just goes to show the discipline that Fortes has as a veteran batter and also as a veteran catcher. I mean, it's somebody that's behind the plate and knows his umpire. They've got a rapport going.
I guess that goes the other way also. If the opposing pitcher gets that call with the catcher at the plate, does your catcher go to the umpire and say, "You owe me one"?
I don't know if he says it like that.
Hey,
but you got to think.
You know that called third strike that you gave me? My guy's going to get that spot too, right? Just making sure. Fortes grounded out to short to end the first. He takes strike 3. Fastball at the knees.
Yeah, we were just talking about a situation like that. That's a great pitcher's pitch. That's a great location there by Knight. But you see Fortes' reaction there, and not sure it's something that's been called throughout the night.
Yeah, he thought that pitch was low. That's a big strikeout for Blaine Knight. First out of the inning. He's given up 2 runs here in the bottom of the third inning. Faces a dangerous Thomas Dillard, but also has the opportunity to get out of the inning with no damage. Opens Dillard off speed.
See again that get me over curveball. Once again, just showing it, a little flash of it to put in the back of Dillard's mind. Don't forget, I've got 4 pitches. Not to mention a 93, 94 mile per hour fastball.
Fouled off.
Ooh, cut that hand right behind the net. Knight's really done a great job. That first pitch, just to get me over curveball. That right there, an effective changeup. And a pitcher that can throw all 4 of his pitches in the strike zone at any time in the count, and that's a dangerous combination.
So what do you like here? Do you like going right at him with a breaking ball, or do you elevate the fastball? Goes right at him with the curveball. Got Thomas Dillard to swing over the top of it. Second time that Dillard has struck out tonight. This was in the second inning, solo home run that got Ole Miss on the board. A Cole Zabowski home run, his 6th of the year. Some strong pitching by Blaine Knight after giving up 3 hits, having a throwing error, and getting Ole Miss back in the ballgame. He gets back-to-back strikeouts. Here's Zabowski. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Kessinger comes around, throw to third, not in time. Olynyk safe there, and we are tied at 4.
Zabowski there handling that off-speed pitch. Let them know, hey, look, I can do it all. I can hit home runs. I can hit that ball right back up the middle. Score some runs for my team. Also, great aggressive base running there by Olynyk, getting to third base on that.
It is, but as that was developing, when Fletcher elected to go to third, all of a sudden you're looking to see if Gray Kessinger is going to reach home plate before the throw gets to third base. Turns out Olynyk safe, doesn't matter either way, and I think Kessinger had gotten to the plate in time, but that was close on both ends. Ole Miss with 3 runs here in the bottom of the third. 4-4 ball game. Golson fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. Yeah, there were so many rule changes this year during the offseason with replay and what the coaches are allowed to do. You've seen coaches calling pitches from the dugouts this year with walkie-talkies. If you're just now kind of locking into SEC baseball for the year, you may not realize what that's all about. You've got coaches using walkie-talkies to their catchers who are wired. They've got earpieces in and a receiver that they flip to the back. You see there on the back of the chest protector. There it is. Grant Cook's got it strapped on. And Wes Johnson can communicate directly with him. One-way communication to call pitches from the dugout. There's a strike to Golson. Fastball on the outside corner.
It'll be interesting to see if the rest of the conferences of all Division I, if they don't go towards this communication system like the SEC's done for conference play.
Two and two now to Golson. Arkansas led in this game 4-0. Ole Miss got a run in the second, 3 here in the third. Olsen gets a piece of that one. It is a fair ball. And that will end the inning. 3 runs across for Ole Miss. An RBI single from Ryan Olenek. And an RBI single from Cole Zabowski as well. New ball game in Oxford. Saturday will be in Knoxville at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium for the first game of the 3-game set between number 6 Georgia and number 10 Tennessee. It's 5 Eastern, 4 Central right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Well, a brisk hour 35 for the first 3 innings of this ball game as we go to the top of the 4th. 8, 9, and 1 coming to the plate for the Razorbacks. Jordan McFarland, Carson Shaddy, and then Jax Biggers at the top of the order.
In a much different ball game than we saw at the start.
Rolison working on the inner half. Gets called strike. Oh, Rolison looks like a different pitcher than what we saw at the beginning of the game. This ground ball behind the bag. Adams makes the throw just in time to beat the runner, McFarland, at first.
What a play there by Adams. Really going to his right there. Coming in. Almost kind of stumbles. Makes a great throw.
Umpire is going to talk about that one, and we will have a video review. Numero dos. First review we had tonight was of a fair or foul home run. Thomas Dillard crushed the ball down the right field line that was hooking the entire way. It was called foul by the first base umpire, John Brammer. Call was upheld, and we were told that there was insufficient video evidence to overturn the call.
See, here's when you start having the conversation that these reviews, the official reviews, in my opinion, they're great for the game. But now you start talking about pace of plays. How does it really affect a game that's typically 3 hours? I mean, we're going past 3-hour marks now in collegiate baseball.
I don't think there's anything from that angle that shows you that it would be changed. Now, the other angle where the throw was coming from the second base side, I think gives you the best look. And well, it looks like McFarland may have just gotten that foot down. Watch it in slow-mo. This is where they're going to zoom in. All right, is the foot down there? Yeah, it looks like the foot is down just ahead of Zabowski being able to squeeze it. You agree?
That's close. But I think you're right. It's just a half step.
Zoomed in look, you'll see. Okay. All right, is the foot down or is it still in the air? Because there you got the ball in the glove. Looks like foot's on the base. That is down. As close as it gets at first base. That is absolutely frame by frame. You know, with instant replay in college football, we've kind of gotten to the point where it feels like you don't even guess anymore. If you tell me to guess here, I'm going to say that he's safe. Remember, the key term is clear video evidence, indisputable video evidence to overturn a call or uphold a call that was made on the field. If you do not have indisputable video evidence, then you do not overturn the call, and so John Brammer's call stands, and there is one out. Brady, the only thing that you saw there that to me says maybe you don't have clear video evidence is Zabowski's foot was blocking the runner's foot, and it was hard to tell whether or not there was any space between the left foot of McFarland and the back.
I think you're exactly right. I think that goes to show why the two calls tonight have not been overturned, just because there's not enough video evidence, like you just said.
Shaddy hammers that one through the left side of the infield on the first pitch that he sees. 2 for 2 night for Carson Shaddy in the 9-hole.
Shaddy not wasting any time here. Jumping on that first pitch. Nice ground ball there through the 6-hole.
Yeah, Dave Van Horn certainly knows his team far better than we do. But it must be fun putting this lineup together, because you got a guy in the 9-hole in Carson Shaddy that really feels like he could hit just about anywhere in the order for you. Here's Jax Biggers. Biggers 1 for 2. Ball and a strike now to Biggers.
I mean, really, you could pull names out of a hat or draw numbers and say, you know what? Let's put Shaddy leading off today. Let's put Kerstead in the 3-hole. I mean, you could, like you just said, really interchange any position in this lineup.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And it's almost, you know, you've heard the phrase used before, almost like an extra leadoff hitter in the 9-hole when you got a guy that can swing it down there. Perhaps part of the reason that the leadoff hitter Biggers has 13 runs batted in on the year. And is that the conversation that we were talking about Nick Fortes having with Arnold? That's off the plate. Good call.
That's off the plate, man. It's about the same near location as Fortes' pitch.
Runner was going. The ball's fouled away. Arkansas is not a team that steals a lot of bases. 18 of 22 on the year. Again, you hear the fan reaction because Fortes caught that ball and didn't move. He was set up off the plate. A 4-4 game, 1 out, top of the 4th. Arkansas start to SEC play, a sweep of Kentucky in week 1. Sweep in which they scored 39 runs in the 3-game series. Most runs that Arkansas had scored in a 3-game SEC series since 1997. Followed it up last weekend with a trip to Gainesville. Game 1. Got blasted in game 2. Strikeout, the throw to second not in time, so a stolen base for Carson Shaddy. Biggers goes down swinging for the second out of the inning.
Rawson really working this upper half of the zone. That's tough as a batter. 3-2 count. You got to be thinking your pitcher's going to be coming down in the zone with a pitch, trying to stay near the strike zone. You see that ball up in the zone, it's hard to react to that.
So Arkansas with a runner in scoring position, but 2 out in the top of the 4th. Eric Cole, 1 for 2 tonight. Remember, Rollison threw about 25 pitches in the first inning. See him working here in the top of the fourth with 78 pitches in the game. The wind blowing, no chance for that one to stay in play.
Rollison, he did have a tough couple of first innings, but really with a pitcher like him, big fastball, big strikeout guys, you see a lot of high pitch counts because strikeouts, they don't come easy. I mean, it's fun to watch, but it's tough as a pitcher to keep your pitch count down if you're going to be one of those big strikeout guys.
Two and one, top of the fourth inning. Eric Cole fouls it away, count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. But a visitor is going to join us for the next half inning or so. Head basketball coach at Kermit Davis. Talk with him in the bottom of the fourth inning with Ole Miss at the plate. Arkansas 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second. On ball right side. Rollison a little late breaking over. He's able to just get the foot down in time. And that ends the inning. Arkansas strands a runner. We go to the bottom of the fourth, even at 4 at Swayze Field in Oxford. Ole Miss and Arkansas headed to the bottom of the fourth inning. Rebels got back in this game with 3 runs in the bottom of the third. Tyler Keenan leads off. I'm assuming that you have to do some sort of prioritizing when you make a transition like this. So what does that priority list look like for you?
Well, you know, number one, you got to take care of the guys in your locker room. And that was my biggest concern, was the guys coming back. And they have made good progress. There's uncertainty all the time. It doesn't matter if I left Middle Tennessee, there's uncertainty in my locker room. I think we've stabilized our locker room. Those guys have done really well. Then you got to focus on the recruiting class that Andy had signed. And so we're making progress there. But you got to make quick decisions, but you've got to be firm and you've got to really take your time because those decisions last for a long time.
The 0-2 from Blaine Knight. All on 2 strikes now to Keenan. Struck out looking in the second inning. It's kind of your philosophy or the approach that you're taking to recruiting.
Well, we're going to fire a shot at the best players in the country. We were in Georgia yesterday, and we've got guys visiting that are, you know, getting recruited by everybody. I just think that at Ole Miss, with the infrastructure here in the Southeastern Conference and the brand with the SEC network, I think you can fire a shot. You know, you can go recruiting with a big bat with what's behind you here in Oxford, and I think if we can get guys on campus, we got a great chance to sign them.
With recruiting, how much does it help having a great place like the Pavilion to get guys to come see and bring recruits to such a great facility?
I tell you one thing, when I came here and played 2 years ago, and we, you know, all of us, we're already around all the best facilities. I think it's the best on-campus facility for seats in college basketball. I mean, they left nothing undone, every bell and whistle. Like, my guys walked in, and we've played everywhere, and my players just said, wow, this place right here is an unbelievable place to play.
And that per-seat qualifier you put on it, I think, probably makes a lot of sense. Keenan rips this one into shallow right center. Leadoff base hit for Ole Miss here in the bottom of the fourth.
I tell you, it's amazing the job that Mike's done. You know, when I was at LSU as an assistant for John Brady, we kind of overlapped about a month before he took the McNeese State job. And he called me yesterday. I was recruiting in Atlanta. And it really is amazing, kind of the Ole Miss baseball brand. I grew up and I watched Archie Manning when he played shortstop, you know, and I did. I grew up in the old SEC days in the 70s, you know, and watched those games. And it's unbelievable what he's done right here in Oxford.
You know, the quarterback thing worked out for Archie Manning, but you saw him play, not me. I've always heard he was an outstanding baseball player as well.
Well, you know, wasn't he the first guy I think I ever saw that wore the hard hat in the infield. And I may be wrong, but I thought he wore kind of the old batting helmet at shortstop. I may be wrong about that. I'll have to ask Archie if that's true.
Fans obviously did not like the called strike on Chase Cockrell. He singled and scored in the third inning. Keenan at first with nobody out. Wayne Knight had a pretty easy first couple of innings, has labored in the third and here into the fourth. You a baseball fan?
Oh, I love it. Played high school baseball. I just enjoy it. I was good friends with our baseball coach at Middle Tennessee, and it's, I kind of grew up on SEC baseball, living in Mississippi, and back even in the early 70s. And obviously when I was at LSU, Skip won some national championships there. So it's great to be back in this baseball environment.
You mentioned LSU. Brady, you played in that environment. Ole Miss second in the country in attendance once again behind only LSU baseball. It's like LSU and then everybody else is kind of playing for second in that category. This ball, roller up the middle. Bigger steps on the back, lobs it over to first for the double play. You talking about the basketball facilities. Really, you look around at facility-wise, whether it's this venue or the pavilion where you'll be, there's a lot of good on this campus.
When I was here 2 years ago and I was doing a little walk and jog day of our game, and you start seeing, go by the 1810 Manning and the FedEx Academic Center, and just the overall infrastructure of just academic buildings, student union. I mean, it may be as much growth on any campus in the country, that this one right here at Ole Miss.
Got to get your final four picks before we cut you loose. So you got Loyola, Michigan, and you got Villanova, Kansas. Start on the Cinderella side of things. It's incredible what Loyola's done.
It's amazing. I mean, Porter Mosier and I are great friends. He was at Little Rock when I was obviously at Middle Tennessee in the Sun Belt days. And it was funny, I was at we're in the Great Alaskan Shootout 2 years ago. We won the shootout. And Porter had a good team, but he lost all 3 games. And we're sitting in this kind of isolated airport in Anchorage, fixing to go all the way back. He had 3 losses. He goes, Kermit, I just don't know. It's just tough, and we get this thing turned around. And then 2 years later, he's in the Final Four. That's the beauty of March Madness. I think Michigan's going to win it all, so I take Michigan over Loyola. But I tell you what, Loyola's a fun team to watch play. And Villanova's probably the best team in college basketball. I love Bill Self's team, but I think Villanova will beat Kansas. But I think Michigan will beat Villanova for the national championship.
They're playing their best basketball at the right time of the year. Win the Big Ten tournament, rolling through the NCAA tournament. What's something that maybe Ole Miss fans or fans of the SEC that may be watching don't know about you that they will learn over the next couple of years as you kind of get into this SEC?
Yeah, I really think, number one, the people in Oxford will find out that Betty and I and Allie will be a fabric of this community. And we just love doing everyday things, and I think that's what Ole Miss people want to see, and not just Ole Miss functions, but everything. So, but as far as basketball, I just hope it's a relentless style, a team that's going to play with unbelievable passion. And I just think that, in Oxford, the Ole Miss people care. I think they want to identify with a special kind of how your team plays. And I remember coming and I watched Keith Carter's team play, and I thought the fan base identified with that team. That they thought that's what Ole Miss basketball should look like. And so that's what Middle Tennessee, we got it to that point. So I really think that people have come to that pavilion. I said the other night, a brand is kind of promise delivered by an experience. And so really the fan base will leave there telling the other fan base kind of what our brand is, because do they like the way we play? So that's important to me, that the Ole Miss people really identify with passion, unselfish, great body language, all those important things that I think represent kind of the fabric of Ole Miss tradition for a long time.
Well, you're at home for a couple of days. You might as well at least get a little bit of sleep before you kind of have to hit the road again. We really appreciate you coming by. It's great to visit with you, welcome you and your family to town, and wish you nothing but the best.
Well, we're so excited to be in Oxford. My wife bought a house today, so we're kind of officially residents right now. Sold our house in Murfreesboro. So you know what? My wife has done better than me than signing players, all right? So I better get to work, I promise you.
Okay, did you have any input on the house, or did you say to her,
Zero.
Just go find a house and
I've never had any input. She showed it to me today. It didn't matter what I said. We had it. I just nodded and said, babe, I love that house. And so that's the only input that I have.
That's probably the smart way to go, isn't it?
You got it. About 35 years of marriage, you'll learn that, I promise you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Kermit, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All the best to you,
All right.
Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Kermit Davis, new head basketball coach at Ole Miss. He is a baseball fan. Picked Michigan to win the national championship and just got back into town. Those were the high points, right?
Yeah.
Recruiting. The theme here early on with Kermit Davis. Arkansas in the top of the 5th inning. After Ole Miss got the leadoff single from Keenan, Cockrell grounded into the double play. Adams grounded out. Actually struck out looking. Big swing and a miss by Casey Martin. He's behind in the count, of ball and 2 strikes. Does it feel like this game settled in a little bit to you? Had the early kind of offensive explosion by Arkansas. Ole Miss storms back. You get a couple of zeros in the 4th inning, and now both pitchers maybe settling in.
I think we're finally starting to see that typical SEC opening weekend series game. Pitchers duel. You see Rollison there really working that slider low in the zone again to get Martin swinging.
7 strikeouts by Ryan Rollison. Dealing with Luke Bonfield. Bonfield 1 for 2 with an RBI single tonight. Takes strike 1 from Rollison. Season high pitch count for Ryan Rollison. He threw 106 against Eastern Illinois. That's the only time this year he's gone over 100. Velocity still good at 93 miles an hour. How much back and forth conversation, Brady, with Mike Bianco was there with you about staying in a game? When you were in a dugout, you were kind of approaching that 100 number.
A lot. And he'll listen to you, but at the end of the day, he's going to tell you yay or nay. But he and I, we always conversations as soon, because I would keep track. I would know coming to the dugout where I was at. And as soon as I started itching up to that 100 mark, I'd start getting in his ear, Coach, lead me in, Coach, lead me in.
For him to trust you and say, okay, you're going back in, was there more to it than just Coach, leave me in? Or was it not only do I feel good, but I've got a feel for a certain pitch right now? Or fastball up above the belt there for Bonfield for strikeout number 8.
See Rollison again working that fastball up in the zone. That mid-90s. That's hard to touch. Coach Bianco, he's the kind of guy that if you present a case and you are dedicated to what you believe in, that he's going to hear you out. And 9 times out of 10, if you've truly got a deep feeling about something, he's going to listen to you and follow your word. So if you come into the dugout and say, I tell him, Coach, look, we've got 6, 7, 8 coming up. I've struck both these guys out multiple times tonight. Lead me in. I've got their number. He's going to listen.
Yeah. Heston Kerstad 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts swinging tonight. A little bit of a frustrating night for the freshman who has had very few frustrating nights this year. Last 10 ball games coming into tonight. Heston Kerstad hitting .444 with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. 16 hits and 36 at-bats. The 1-2. This ball lifted down the right field line. It's hooking foul. Not the first action we've seen down in that corner tonight.
Yeah, if you're a lefty tonight, that's the place to hit it. You're trying to pull that ball, get it up in that jet stream. It's going to carry.
It's one of 4 games going on tonight in the SEC. Georgia, a winner over Texas A&M. The Georgia Bulldogs playing with a lot of confidence right now. Now 6-1 in the SEC. Kerstad hammers that one back through the middle. He looked a lot more comfortable that at bat than he did the first 2 tonight.
Absolutely. I think Kerstad really had a good look on that ball there. And a great change to his last couple at bats.
Columbia, South Carolina tonight. Gamecocks sitting in the cellar of the East at 1-5, leading 6-0 over Tennessee. Who's off to a 4-2 start in league play. Grant Cook. Sack fly in the first, strikeout in the third. .68 strikes.
You know, looking at pitch breakdowns like that, a pitcher that has thrown 65% strikes within a game is more than likely, on paper, you can just eye that and say, you know what, he had a successful outing that game. If you see that 65% or higher strike to ball ratio.
And, you know, Brady, really, you look at Ryan Rollinson and you almost say, yeah, he threw too many strikes early, or at least got too much of the plate early in this ball game. You go back and watch the beginning of this game, Arkansas's first trip to the plate, Biggers, Cole, Martin, and Bonfield to start the ball game. Really aggressive swings at balls out over the heart of the plate.
And that's what can come back to bite you as a pitcher that really fills up the zone like that, is that if you get an aggressive offense like Arkansas, if they've got that mindset coming in, they're going to make you pay if you do fill up the zone or leave it over the plate too much.
Fly ball to left. Wynn kind of knocking that one down. Long run for Dillard. He gets there and makes the catch. Got scary for the Ole Miss folks in the stands. 4-4 halfway home in Oxford. Back with you in Oxford, joined by Ole Miss head coach Mike Bianco. Coach, feels like 2 different games. Those first couple of at-bats for Arkansas and then the rest of this game, and now things have kind of settled in a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Ryan's really settled in. I'm proud of his effort. And, of course, you know, a big inning by us, and, you know, Zebo's had a great night.
How much deeper can Ryan Rollinson go into this game?
Probably one more if it's a short one, too, but he's been lights out.
Coach, going into this weekend, Arkansas, another top 10 team. From here on out, the rest of the season, it's going to be tough games just like this. What's the message to the team to get their mindset right for competition like this?
Well, just stay in the fight, Brady. You know, you've been there. And you can't look ahead. You can't look, you know, for the whole weekend. You got to be where your feet are, and you got to be here tonight.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
That's Mike Bianco. Get him an extra cough drop as he heads back in. Fighting it a little bit with his voice tonight.
A little froggy there.
Those are about 70 gazillion pounds of pollen floating around in the air.
Oh, my computer up here.
Yeah, there you go.
It's covered.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Ole Miss and Arkansas. Thought coming in that this would be a great weekend series. We're off to a great start. Tie ball game in the 5th with Ray Kessinger leading off for the Rebels. There's a strike. Fastball with a little run on it that time from Blaine Knight. Last week, Blaine Knight struck out 10 Florida hitters, which was one shy of his career high. First time a Razorback pitcher had 10 or more strikeouts in a ball game this year. Three and one now to Greg Kessinger. Martin charging, throws on the run. And Knight gets the all-important leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 5th. Blaine Knight has allowed 6 hits, 4 runs in the ball game. Only 2 of them earned, and it's the first time this year that Blaine Knight has allowed an unearned run. Had given up 7 earned runs, and that's it on the season coming in. Ryan Olenek, RBI single in his last at bat. Mike Clement bails out of the way at third base, Rebel third base coach. It's like watching a pitcher work that inside part of the plate.
Really do.
Not everybody's able to do that, right?
It's tough. It's really tough, and not a lot of our pitchers and coaches are willing to make that pitch because you don't get it in far enough, leave right over the plate. Get it in too far,
freebie.
Freebie.
Two-one pitch, lined into left field, almost the same spot as last time for Olenek. He's aggressive, makes a big turn, throw comes towards second, and he is safe. Ball got away. Not sure what the call would have been if Carson Shaddy had been able to hang on. 10th double of the year for Olenek.
He did a great job staying back there on the off-speed pitch. Once again, we see him being aggressive on the base path. But like you said, Richard, I don't know what that call would have been if that ball wouldn't have gotten away.
It was going to be really, really close for Olenek out at second base. Nick Fortes comes to the plate with the go-ahead run now at second base in the bottom of the 5th inning. Heard Mike Bianco say that he thought probably another inning for Ryan Rollison. Fortes 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Remember, he froze on a fastball that he thought was low. A little bit of reaction for home plate umpire Darrell Arnold. He's back in the third inning. Told you Georgia beat Texas A&M tonight. South Carolina leading it over Tennessee. LSU leading over Mississippi State 2-0 in the sixth inning down in Baton Rouge. Front door slider there.
That's a sharp bite to it.
Really did. The 1-1.
Knights really utilized that slider all night to the right-handed batters. Then to mirror that, the changeup has been fantastic against the lefties.
Two 1 to Fortes. Fly ball to center field. Fletcher on the run. He'll make the catch. Olenek tags and is headed for third and gets there safely. Saturday we'll have the Garnet and Black game right here on the SEC Network at noon Eastern, 11 Central. First chance to see head coach Will Muschamp's Gamecocks as they prep the 2018 season at Williams-Brice Stadium. It's also available on the ESPN app if you're out and about. It's the season for spring football. Those students out in right field thought it felt like spring when they came to the park about 6 o'clock tonight. Ole Miss looking for a 2-out base hit out of Thomas Dillard. He slaps one foul the opposite way.
This is the time of season where come to the field in shorts and t-shirt, but you got a blanket in your bag somewhere.
It's an area of the game in which Ole Miss has excelled this year. Of the 166 RBIs coming into this game, 71 of them for Ole Miss have come with 2 out in an inning. As a team, not just one individual, but as a team, Ole Miss getting 325 on the year with 2 outs. Fastball strike. See Ole Miss 71 runs batted in. 319 batting average with runners in scoring position on the year. You maintain those numbers throughout the course of an entire season, you're going to win a bunch of ball games. Dillard behind in the count. The 1-2 from Knight. Got him with the curveball. Third time tonight that Dillard has gone down swinging. Ole Miss strands the go-ahead run at third base. And we go to the 6th. 4-4, Arkansas at Ole Miss. Four runs, 8 hits, and an error for Arkansas. Ole Miss, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Thursday night in Oxford, Mississippi. Little SEC baseball for you. Swayze Field, Richard Cross, Brady Bramlett. Ryan Rollison back out for the top of the 6th inning. 4 of Arkansas's 8 hits came from the first 4 batters of the game. Biggers, Cole, Martin, and Bonfield, 4 straight singles to start the game. First pitch pop up behind home plate. Cortez, one away. That's an efficient way to start the 6th inning.
Gotta love it. 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's tough, too. You got to realize that ball's got so much backspin on it, not to mention the wind. For the catcher, I mean, really just any pop line infield like that, but especially your catcher coming in, coming back, tracing that ball.
Jordan McFarland, 1-4-2. Singleton scored in the 2nd. McFarland hits a high fly ball to right. Olenek going back to the warning track, and he cannot make the catch. Did not time it where he had a chance to jump at the wall. A solo home run for Jordan McFarland, his 3rd of the year. And Arkansas is back in front, 5-4.
Any typical day of the week, I really think that ball might stay in with the wind. The way it is, really got out there and carried.
Well, and instead of Olenek kind of getting back and being able to jump up and make that catch, couldn't get much on the jump to try and go get it, and the ball gets just over his glove. 2nd home run of the game for the Razorbacks. Ole Miss will go to the bullpen in a 5-4 game. Hogs trying to get game 1 on the road. Will Etheridge coming in. We'll step aside. Ryan Rollison, tough start to the game, but battled back nicely. Finished up with a solid start, 5 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, gave up 5 earned runs, a couple of long balls. Leaves with his team trailing by 1, 5-4. Rollison could be the loser tonight, cannot be the winner.
You know, Rollison really came back a different guy after that rain delay and put Ole Miss in a great position to win the ball game.
So Will Etheridge out of the bullpen, the sophomore from Lilburn, Georgia, 6'5", 220 pounds. Pretty reliable out of the pen this year.
You know, last week at Texas A&M, Etheridge really came out, and he's been established with his staff, but he really established himself, especially for SEC play moving forward, as a guy he can really be relied upon coming in tough situations to face tough teams like this Arkansas.
11th relief appearance of the year for Will Etheridge. He is 1-0, 162. He misses for ball 1. Two appearances in relief at Texas A&M last weekend for Will Etheridge. He got the win in game 1. 3 innings, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks. Ole Miss played 3 one-run games last weekend in College Station. They won game 1 5-4, lost 7-6, and then won 7-6. Carson Shaddy, 2 for 2 tonight. Had a 2-run homer back in the 2nd. Singled in the 4th. Fletcher popped out on the first pitch that he saw of the inning, and then Jordan McFarland sneaks one over the right field wall for his third home run of the season to give Arkansas a 5-4 lead. Chopper, that one gets over Keenan. Kessinger backhands it, not even going to try to make the throw. Shaddy runs well. 3 for 3 night for the 9-hole hitter for the Razorbacks.
Shaddy really staying hot tonight. Hit right there. I think there's a smart decision there by Kessinger, holding off on that throw.
I think there are only 2 outcomes on him making that throw. One is he gets it to Zabowski, but not in time. The other one is he bounces it, and Shaddy's standing on second or third right now. Nice swing and a miss for Jax Biggers for strike 1. Arkansas 1-out base runner after the solo home run from McFarland. Sixth inning has been an important inning for the Razorbacks this year as Biggers tries to lay one down and sneak his way on base. When leading after 6 innings, Arkansas is 15-0 this year. When trailing after 6 innings, Razorbacks have not won. They are 0-4. Right now they lead by 1 in the top of the 6th.
But here's the catch to that. They're facing an Ole Miss team that's won 10 come-from-behind victories so far this season.
Yeah, you're right. Ball popped into shallow center. Golson coming on hard, going out. Kessinger can't make the catch, and Biggers fell down. Wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught and really was in no man's land. First and second for Arkansas with 1 out.
Kessinger was close there.
Close to getting it.
You see Shaddy kind of look up there like, man, that was close.
Jacob Adams was not very close to the bag at second. Eric Cole. Cole takes a strike. The count goes 1-1. So Fletcher popped out. McFarland got the home run. Then Ole Miss went to the bullpen. And since entering, Will Etheridge has given up an infield single. Got a big hopper over the third baseman that Kessinger couldn't throw Shaddy out on. And then a blooper just in the right spot in shallow center field. Oh, that's not a strike? Wow. That's a good pitch from Will Etheridge.
That's a great pitch right there. Slider right there.
That's a strike.
On the back knee. Wow.
2-1 to Eric Cole. 1 for 3 tonight. Shaddy out at second. Jax Biggers over at first. Arkansas trying to put a crooked number up here in the top of the 6th inning. They got 2 in the first, 2 in the second. Solo home run here in the top of the 6th. Strike 3 called as Cole goes away looking. Second out of the inning.
And what a great pitch there by Etheridge. An easy 92 coming out of his hands. Great fastball, low in the zone, right there on the knees. Fantastic pitch.
Casey Martin. And the opening week of SEC play, Casey Martin, not unlike a lot of the other hitters for Arkansas, had a great week. Arkansas hosted Texas for a couple of midweek games and then had Kentucky come to their place at Baum Stadium. And Casey Martin had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs in that span of 5 ball games. That was a week, if you're Arkansas, you really didn't want to end. They beat Texas 13-4, 7-5, and then beat Kentucky 9-4, 14-2, and 16-9. Ground ball past Keenan at third. Shaddy going to try to score. Thomas Dillard throws toward the plate. Offline, not in time, and Arkansas now leads at 6-4. Carson Shaddy gets up kind of gimpy as he came across home plate.
You know, it's a great swing there by Martin. Taking that ball there through the 6 hole. And great job there by Shaddy, getting a good jump off second base to come across and get a run for the Razorbacks.
So the RBI single for Casey Martin. Arkansas, a little bit of breathing room. Now back out to a 2-run lead. It's Casey Martin's 10th multi-hit game of the year. Here's Luke Bonfield. Had the RBI single in the first. Fly out and a strikeout since. That one's called a strike.
Here's the thing, too. They're just doing a great job staying low in the zone. And granted, Shaddy, Biggers, and Martin, all 3 base hits, but they're not hard hits. They're just ground balls through the 6 hole.
This one's off the plate for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Bonfield. This has been the spot in the lineup for Luke Bonfield. He's hit cleanup 23 times in 26 games this year. On Saturday in Gainesville, made his 150th career start. Bonfield held up. Strike 3 called. Bonfield goes away looking, but Arkansas adds a couple in the top of the 6th. Solo home run by McFarland. Shaddy scored after his single. Bonfield goes away looking. Little SEC baseball action coming your way on Sunday afternoon. Game 3 between number 8 Vanderbilt and number 2 Florida. Keithan Stadium in Gainesville. First pitch Sunday at noon Eastern on the SEC Network and streaming on the app. That's a fun series this weekend. When you got 5 teams in the top 10 And 8 in the top 25, 9 in the top 25. You're going to have a lot of weekends where you go, what a great matchup this is. Man, look at the matchup we've got at this place. Ole Miss batting. Cole Zabowski leading things off. He is 2 for 2 tonight, a couple of runs driven in his 6th home run of the year. Zabowski takes ball 1.
What's going to be really fun to watch this year is Hoover SEC tournament.
Yeah. 2-0 to Zabowski. So you got Florida at 2, Ole Miss at 4, Arkansas 6, Vandy 8, Kentucky 10, Auburn 11, Texas A&M at 15, LSU at 21, and Georgia into the coaches poll this week at number 24. The Bulldogs win again tonight against Texas A&M. The 3-0. Not close. Zabowski walks on 4 pitches. Meeting on the mound with Blaine Knight. Knight has gone 5 innings in this game. He has allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, couple earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. There's been some guys kind of milling about down in the Arkansas bullpen. Wes Johnson, the pitching coach for Arkansas, 2nd season. He was on John Cohen's staff at Mississippi State prior to going to Arkansas. Left-hander getting ready for Arkansas down to the bullpen, Matt Cronin. Will Golson 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out to right. And then a chopper right in front of home plate that Cook was able to field and easily throw out Golson. Will Golson takes strike 1. It's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Much where Blaine Knight's been the entire game, 91, 92, 93. He's thrown 4 pitches, though, with confidence in this game. A fastball that he's been able to locate.
And he's done it all game. You see here, 91 pitches, bottom to 6. He's still staying that 91 to 93 range, which is why he goes so deep into ball games.
2-1. Blaine went 5 innings of the season opener, 6 against Cal Poly, Southern Cal, and Kent State. 6 2/3 last week against Florida, so he got into the 7th inning. Stays up for ball 3. Now 3-1 to Will Golson. Walks Zabowski on 4 pitches to start the inning. Now behind 3-1 to Golson, who currently represents the tying run. Tyler Keenan waits on deck. Shows you how a pitcher sometimes gets locked into what he's doing. Golson had been out of the box for 4 or 5 seconds and then Knight started to go into his delivery. There's a strike. The count goes full.
That's the island out there. You got to be locked in.
Despite a batting average that's well off the career average for Will Golson, he has driven in 20 runs this year. Came in hitting just .240. Golson fists this one out to shallow right. It's diving fast. A call. No, it came out of the glove. And now a throw over to second. And Zabowski, just absolutely no shot there for Zabowski. Incredible effort by Shaddy. Had it in his glove. It came out, but it looked like it was going to stay, and Zabowski had to get back to first. Oh, what an effort. Couldn't complete the catch, but then Shaddy able to get the force out. That's an impossible feeling for a base runner.
Just about to say, that's a tough call. You get stuck there in the middle and get caught up at first base, or just like we just saw, go too far back. Second.
And Zabowski's not the fastest guy on the team, regardless. Putting that nicely. But you can't just freeze halfway on that, because it looks like Shaddy comes down with that ball. He came down with the ball in his glove. You got to get back to first base. The 0-1 to Tyler Keenan. Ground ball to short. Should be an easy double play. 6-4-3. And Blaine Knight gets out of the 6th inning. Promising start, erased by a double play. It's 6-4 Arkansas. See the RPI for SEC teams. Ole Miss leads the way at number 3, followed by Auburn and Georgia in the top 10. 3 more teams in the top 20. Then you get Kentucky and Texas A&M just inside the top 25. Georgia winning again tonight to move to 6-1 in SEC play. The Aggies digging themselves a hole. That's a good baseball team, but they're now 2-5 in league play. Eston Kerstead leading things off for Arkansas in the top of the 7th against Will Etheridge. Ole Miss going to try and have to buck a trend with Arkansas on the year, and that is steal one from the Razorbacks, who have not lost when leading after 6 innings. Golson on the run. Kerstead flies out to center for the first out of the 7th. Little hat tip to our colleague Mike Rooney. How about this tweet? Opening day today in Major League Baseball. There were 85 players from the Southeastern Conference on opening day rosters. That makes up 10% of all opening day roster spots. Wow. And both Ole Miss and Arkansas pretty heavily represented in that group of 85 former SEC players. The 0-1 fouled back. Here's a look at Razorbacks in the big leagues today. Brian Anderson, Andrew Benintendi, what a start to his major league career. Dallas Keuchel, now a World Series champ. Pretty impressive list of Arkansas Razorbacks. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is the group from Ole Miss. Zach Cozart with a new team out on the West Coast. Braxton Lee, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, former Ole Miss Rebel, makes the opening day roster for the Marlins. Lance Lynn with a new team. Mike Myers makes the opening day roster. There's a swing and a miss for a strikeout of Grant Cook. 2nd out of the inning.
Another easy 92 coming out of the hand of Etheridge. That's tough. In on the hands, not much Cook can do there with that pitch.
Here's Dominic Fletcher. See Alex Presley with Baltimore, and then Anthony Alford. This one's fouled off. Anthony Alford started his college career in Hattiesburg at Southern Miss, playing football. Transferred as part of the Ole Miss football team for a year. Decided to walk away from football altogether, and now on the opening day roster for the Toronto Blue Jays, which means he got to see up close and personal the debut of Giancarlo Stanton, newest New York Yankee, who in his first at bat as a Yankee went the opposite way, 425 feet, and then added one to straightaway center for good measure later in the ballgame. This ball lined into left center field. Base hit for Dominic Fletcher, cut off by Dillard. Does a good job getting over to hold Fletcher to a single there. 2-out base hit for the Razorbacks.
A great swing there by Fletcher. Stays in with the hands. Lets that pitch work. Just takes it the opposite way.
Nine hits for Arkansas off the starter Ryan Rollison. That's the fourth off of Will Etheridge since entering. Here's Jordan McFarland, had a solo home run in his last at bat. McFarland, fly ball to center. Golson squeezes it for the third out of the inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. Seventh inning stretch time at Swayze Field, where the Razorbacks lead at 6-4. Blaine Knight leaves this ball game with a chance to be the winner. He gave up an early solo home run to Cole Zabowski. But otherwise, Blaine Knight, good night tonight for Arkansas. 6 innings. He had 7 strikeouts, walked just 1 batter. Got Thomas Dillard swinging 3 times in the ball game. Gives up 4 runs, only 2 of them earned. And the night is done for Blaine Knight. He will give way to the lefty Matt Cronin, the sophomore from Navarre, Florida. 6'2", 197 pounds, and he can bring it with the fastball. 10th appearance of the year for Cronin. 2-0 with a 2.37 ERA. How about the strikeout to walk ratio there? What, 11, about 8-1, 7.5-1, 22 strikeouts, 3 walks on the year.
You know, Cronin, another guy with a big fastball at 91, 93 from the left side. You're really going to see him work down in the zone to these Ole Miss batters.
8, 9, and 1 coming to the plate. Chase Cockrell to lead off for the Rebels. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball to start the inning off. Arkansas leading by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Cockrell singled and scored in the 3rd inning, grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th. Came sharply to Biggers, almost came up too quickly on that one, able to throw it over for the first out of the inning. Good start for Cronin out of the bullpen. Talking about players on opening day rosters in the big league. Ole Miss has a former player that made his managerial debut as well today. Former Ole Miss pitcher Mickey Callaway, now the skipper for the Mets. We've got a season-opening win, 9-4 over the St. Louis Cardinals. Mickey Callaway, pitching coach. Tito Francona's staff in Cleveland for the last few years. Well, he's got some arms to work with in New York, too, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah,
Noah
absolutely.
Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom. One ball, one strike to Jacob Adams. Who's your big league team?
Being from Memphis, always been big Cardinal fans. Got their AAA team, the Redbirds there.
Cronin's sitting at 94 miles an hour with that fastball. Adams now behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
What about you guys? Who's y'all's team?
I am the rare New York Yankees fan that lives in North Mississippi. Went to a ball game there back in 2006, I think it was. Fell in love with the ballpark and haven't looked back. Full count now to Jacob Adams. Arkansas retook the lead with a couple of runs in the top of the 6th. Adams stays alive at the plate. Good at bat for Jacob Adams. One out base runner for Ole Miss. Porter flips back to the top of the lineup. It's the second walk of the night for Ole Miss. Blaine Knight walked Cole Zabowski to start the 6th inning. Matt Cronin walks Jacob Adams. And now Greg Kessinger. 0 for 2 tonight. Razorbacks send some more bodies down to the bullpen. Kessinger pops it up, shallow right. Shaddy going out. Cole calls him off, makes the catch, and they're 2 down in the inning. Ryan Olenek base hits in his last 2 at-bats, had the RBI single in the 3rd. Doubled in the 5th, but was left stranded. Ball slicing toward the foul ground, and Cole able to run it down, make the catch just shy of the wall. Good play by the Arkansas right fielder. 7 complete. 2-run lead for the Hogs. Big night tonight for Carson Shaddy in the 9-hole for the Razorbacks. Back in the 2nd inning, little oppo shot. Wind might have helped it just a little bit. 7th home run of the year for Carson Shaddy. Shaddy's followed it up with a couple of singles. Rolled one through the 6th hole in the 4th inning. And then in the 6th inning, another base hit through the left side. Came around to score. Scored on the RBI single by Casey Martin. Shaddy takes high for ball one from Will Etheridge. Etheridge came into the game in the 6th inning for Ole Miss. Two 2-0 to Shaddy.
Shaddy, he's always been a tough out. I faced him from his freshman, sophomore. It would have been my junior, senior. And he's always just been a guy that's going to give you a quality at bat anytime he steps into the box.
Shaddy hits it sharply to Keenan, knocks it down at third, throws over, and for the first time tonight, Carson Shaddy is retired.
You see Keenan there really playing even, almost in front of the bag there.
You see a lot of third basemen that will play back, especially with the bases empty, but from a positioning standpoint, he's kind of an even with the bag guy. This ball hits sharply to Zabowski, fields it on a hop, steps on the bag, and there are quickly 2 out in the 8th. SEC softball coming your way Saturday in Knoxville. Game 1 of a 3-game set between number 6 Georgia and number 10 Tennessee. 5 Eastern right here on the SEC Network, streaming live on the SEC app. Two down and Eric Cole to the plate. Cole 1 for 4 tonight. He hits this one up the middle, a base hit. Second hit of the night for Eric Cole. Obviously, you're back at the top of the lineup, but Brady, you look at pretty much any team's batting order, and usually you can find what you think is a weak spot in the lineup. Somebody. Tell me where the break is in this lineup. I mean, you got Dominic Fletcher in the 7-hole who's hitting .214, but he's got 17 career home runs. 15 career home runs. Was incredible a year ago as a freshman. There are no breaks in this Arkansas lineup. Team came in hitting .311. They got 14 hits tonight.
You can always poke holes in somebody's lineup. I mean, like you just said, this Arkansas team is tough.
Eric Cole, one of 2 guys that's kind of a consistent threat to run for Arkansas. He's 4 of 5 in stolen bases on the year. Jack Biggers leads the team 5 for 5. Let's play over at first. Arkansas does have a stolen base tonight. It was Carson Shaddy who picked up his 3rd steal of the year. Rear Holston throwing in the bullpen for Ole Miss, another right-hander. 40 pitches in relief tonight for Will Etheridge. Ground ball to Keenan. And that ends the inning. Arkansas strands a runner in the 8th. Razor. A bit different look on the mound tomorrow night for Arkansas as Evan Lee will get the start. Isaiah Campbell not able to go this weekend, some elbow inflammation. He did not make the trip, and so it'll be Evan Lee for Arkansas against Brady Feigl. Feigl 5-1 on the year. Had a rough 2nd inning last week against Texas A&M, but was able to kind of settle in and pitch into the 7th. 3, 4, and 5 coming to the plate for Ole Miss here in the bottom of the 8th. Ole Miss down 2. Nick Fortes, Thomas Dillard, and Cole Zabowski. Fortes fouls it back and out of play. 1-1 to the Rebel catcher. Fortes 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out, strikeout, and a flyout. A couple of home runs tonight for Arkansas. Ole Miss has got one as well. 2-1 to Fortes. But the conditions have changed, and it will take a blast to get one out of the ballpark now, especially if you hit one to left. Fouled back again.
You can really feel that cool breeze too that the rain kind of brought in.
Fortes, an example of one of those guys who gets better as the career goes along, which is what you would like to see, what you expect to see. He hit 194 as a freshman 2 years ago in just 17 games. Last year, 319 and made 38 starts. This year, Fortes has been an everyday part of the lineup for Ole Miss. Has started all 27 games.
And last year, majority of his starts at first base.
Right. He'd been a catcher up until that point. Fortes has bounced back and forth between catcher and first base this year. Fouls it away. Marnie Merritt, goalkeeper on the Ole Miss soccer team. Did she catch that? Here the 2-2. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Cronin.
Cronin really working. His fastball there. Actually blowing it by Fortes. Nice 93.
Fortes 0 for 4 tonight. Combination of Nick Fortes and Thomas Dillard. 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts in the 3 and 4 spots in the lineup. Swing and a miss for Dillard for strike one. Dillard flips around, hits from the right side for the first time tonight against the lefty, Matt Cronin. Oh, and 2.
Cronin not wasting any time here going after Dillard.
Teases him with a fastball up, and it's a 1-2 count now to Thomas Dillard.
See 94. That's typically where Cronin's gonna max out as far as his velocity goes.
Goes down in the zone and gets Dillard to swing over the top of a fastball. Tough night at the plate for Thomas Dillard. Now 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Cronin, the pitch before, really works the upper end of the strike zone, changes Dillard's viewpoint. And the way his arm slot works over the top like that, he comes back down the zone like that. That's tough for a batter to react and change the way his eyes are seeing the ball there.
2 out for Cole Zabowski. Zabowski late on the fastball for strike one. Nothing special right now for Matt Cronin. It has been a steady diet of fastballs, and he is sitting at 93-94. consistency around the plate. They've earned him a little extension there. See if he goes with the same formula. Goes up to Zabowski and then comes back and tries to bury one. Doesn't go up as much, just a little farther outside. Is there something about that release point that you were talking about that's making it harder for Ole Miss hitters to pick that fastball up?
It really is. A lot of times you see guys that are over the top like Cronin is. It's hard to pick up that ball coming from behind the pitcher's head.
93-mile-an-hour fastball, swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for Matt Cronin to end the 8th inning. Arkansas will carry a 2-run lead into the 9th. Razorbacks looking for their 5th win in SEC play.
More on car insurance.
Tonight at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, the SEC Now team is back to break down all the baseball games. Nobody covers the SEC like we do. You can always watch on the ESPN app as well. New pitcher into the game for Ole Miss. Greer Holston comes in. Ole Miss trailing by 2 in the top of the 9th. Holston is 1-0 on the year. The sophomore from Long Beach, Mississippi, making his 10th appearance of the season. 3.46 the ERA, 13 strikeouts, a couple of walks. He's allowed 13 hits. Luke Bonfield, Heston Kerstad, and Grant Cook in the 9th for the Razorbacks.
Holston, he's definitely not a stranger to tough lineups and coming to late ball games in situations like this to keep Ole Miss in it and to really bring new life late in the ball game.
Ole Miss trying to keep Arkansas at a 6-4 lead to give themselves a chance. Keenan throws out Bonfield for the first out in the 9th. Got to believe that Arkansas will stick with Matt Cronin in the 9th inning. Leads the Arkansas team with 4 saves on the year. Heston Kerstad 1 for 4. It's a 1-hopper to Adams at second. And there are 2 down in the 9th. Grant Cook looking for his first hit of the ball game. Razorbacks catcher is 0 for 3, had a sac fly back in the first inning. Chops it to third. Keenan waits back on it, throws across. An easy inning for Greer Holston. Gets 3 ground balls on the infield. Ole Miss got to have at least 2 in the 9th. Arkansas struck for 2 runs in the top of the first, 2 more in the top of the second. Ole Miss got on the board with the Cole Zabowski solo home run in the second. Rebels got 3 runs in the bottom of the third to tie the game at 4. That's where we stood until the top of the 6th when the Razorbacks added a couple of runs. Arkansas 6 runs on 14 hits. They've got the 1 error. Ole Miss 4 runs, 7 hits. Starters tonight. Brian Rollison went 5 1/3. Playing 9th, 6 innings. Matt Cronin back out now in the bottom of the 9th inning, looking for his 5th save of the year. Difference right now, that 6th inning for Arkansas. Got a one-out solo home run from Jordan McFarland. Right now, that's the difference in the ball game. RBI single from Casey Martin scored Carson Shaddy. Will Golson leads off and takes strike one. Golson 0 for 3 tonight. Fly out, ground out, and a fielder's choice. Golson behind in the count, 0-2. Said nothing special for Matt Cronin in the last half inning. That may not be the best word choice. More like nothing flashy from Matt Cronin, because his fastball has been special. Pretty good deception with it. He sat 93-94 for his 2 innings of relief. Golson fists this one into left field, a base hit. And on the hands just a little bit, makes a big turn, but will stop at first. A leadoff single. And for Ole Miss, that will bring the tying run to the plate with nobody out in the ninth.
You know, Golson doing a great job what he does. Pressure situations, down to the crunch time. Does a great job, gets a base hit there. Out of a Cronin, who's doing a fantastic job just lighting up the strike zone.
Ole Miss will pinch hit for Tyler Keenan with Tim Elko. Should the game go to extra innings, Elko would stay in and play third base. Both of those guys have been pretty good defensively, but you get a right-handed hitter in against the left-handed pitcher Cronin. First pitch strike to Elko. It's fun to sit on the bench for 3.5 hours, then come in and see a 92-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. Keenan was 1 for 3 in the game. Elko quickly behind to the count, 0-2. Game 2 tomorrow night at 6:30. Game 3 on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Elko lays off a high fastball. Arkansas's got bodies in the bullpen, but this is Matt Cronin's game to finish up for the Razorbacks. Or at least to attempt to finish up. Ole Miss came into this ballgame 23-3 on the year. One of only 3 teams in the country with 3 or fewer losses this season. The other 2 out on the West Coast. Oregon State and Stanford. Oregon State 20-2, Stanford 18-2. Elko fouls off another. Ole Miss has 10 come-from-behind victories on the season. Arkansas has not lost this season when leading after 6 innings. It was the 6th inning when the Razorbacks took the lead. Elko chases a fastball out of the zone. And Cronin went back to the well a couple of times in that at bat.
You know, Cronin, a guy that really relies on his fastball, and a guy like him really got to work from top to bottom if you're going to rely heavily on your fastball as he does. And it goes to show there how effective it is. You know, fastball down, fastball down, fastball down, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. Just elevate it just a little bit. You find that swing and miss there that he got out of Elko.
Cook and Shaddy out to talk to Cronin. Is that a rally cap or a rally stack?
Rally Tower, maybe.
There you go. Baseball players are a weird group. Right, Brady?
I won't argue that.
Olsen at first, led the inning off with a single. Here's Chase Cockrell. Chopper to third. Martin goes to second for the lead runner, to first, not in time for the double play. That's a good play by Casey Martin. A little bit of a risky play, but Martin executes it. They're 2 down.
You know, Cockrell, they're not the fastest runner in the lineup. 2-run lead, I still think that's a good chance to take to try to turn 2 there.
Trying to end the ball game. Martin made a good throw to second. They get the lead runner. Ole Miss pinch running at first base with Anthony Servideo. Here's Jacob Adams. Adams has got to have a base hit to keep this game alive. It's not entirely accurate. He's got to find a way to get on base to keep the game alive. Trying to flip it back to the top of the lineup. Gray Kessinger would hit next for Ole Miss. Adams 1 for 2. Single and a run scored in the third, a strikeout and a walk. Adams chased one up around the chest for strike 2, behind in the count. Blaine Knight, the starter, went 6 innings. He's in line to pick up his 5th win of the year. Matt Cronin pitched a scoreless 7th, struck out the side in the 8th in order. Leadoff single here in the 9th. There's a runner at first with 2 down, and Jacob Adams behind in the count, 1-2. Adams swings and misses. A 3-inning save for Cronin. He strikes out 5 of the 9 that he faces, and Arkansas takes game 1 of a big series this weekend in Oxford. Razorbacks ranked 6th in the country. Ole Miss ranked 4th in the country. And game 1 goes to Blaine Knight and the Hogs.
You know, Blaine Knight really started off the night on a great note for the Razorbacks. You got to love Matt Cronin coming in just to seal the deal for Arkansas.
Arkansas struck early in this ball game. They set the tone with 2 runs in the first and the second. Ole Miss's 4 runs came in the second and the third. Then the Razorbacks got a couple of runs. A solo home run from Jordan McFarland proved to be the difference. They added another run on an RBI single from Casey Martin that scored Carson Shaddy, and Arkansas improves to 19.